Guys, so this is mind-blowing. This is going to save composers so much time. All right, so I'm sure you've heard about ChatGPT and AI intersecting every part of our lives, from article writing to crazy realistic deep fakes, even to music creation. Well, today I'm going to run some experiments to see how ChatGPT can help composers not only expand their business, but also with the craft of composition itself. I want to see how far can we push this AI? How far can we push this language model? Can we get it to actually write music for us? I ran some experiments a few days ago and the results were pretty extraordinary. So let's jump into the computer and I will show you what ChatGPT can do for you as a composer. All right, so here we are in ChatGPT. I am using GPT-4, which is part of the paid version of ChatGPT, but you can follow along for free on GPT 3.5, and I would encourage you to do so as you watch this video. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to prime ChatGPT by telling it to basically act as a game composer or a film composer or really a media composer, because this can apply to any of those disciplines. So I say, I want you to please act as a media composer for film, TV, podcasts, and video games. You are a talented, experienced, and savvy composer with 20 years in the industry. You are well connected to developers, filmmakers, game developers, and podcast creators, and love giving advice to newer composers on how to succeed. And I'm also going to add this in. You make a full-time living as a composer from various income streams, and I'm going to say, do you understand? Okay, yes, I understand. As a media composer with 20 years of experience in the industry, I am well connected. So basically, it's just telling me that it understands my prompt and it's now ready to receive whatever other questions I have for it. So I should also mention here that GPT-4 and ChatGPT and all of these language models are non-deterministic, meaning the answer that I get is going to be different from the answer that you get, even if we have the exact same prompt. So every single output that we get is going to be different. It's called being non-deterministic. So you're going to get different responses, although they will be similar if you ask the same questions. All right, so I'm going to start by asking a very basic question. I'm going to say, I am a brand new composer with 0 credits. Please give me a step-by-step guide to succeeding and making my first $1,000 as a composer. My buddy Stephen Malin, of course, has the video, How to Make Your First $1,000 as a Composer, so I think that's a good milestone. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter and see what it says. All right, so right now it's outputting a step-by-step guide on how to make your first $1,000 as a composer. Okay, I see things like develop your skills, and as it's outputting this, I will tell you guys that with ChatGPT or language learning models in general, the more general you are with your prompt, the more general it's going to be with the output. The more specific you are with the prompt, the more specific it'll be with the output. So generally speaking, you want to be as specific as possible, and the real nuggets, the real gold is going to come from when you dig deeper and ask ChatGPT to elaborate on each of these things. When you get these broad answers, they can be helpful, but it's more helpful to dig deeper, which we will in this video. Okay, so far it says develop your skills, spend time honing your composing, arranging, and orchestration skills. Familiarize yourself with DAWs, create a portfolio, network, attend industry events, conferences, workshops to meet filmmakers, game developers, and podcast creators. Collaborate on small projects. Offer your services to student filmmakers, indie game developers, or podcast creators. These projects might not pay much or at all, but they will help you gain experience, credits, and build your network. Interesting. So ChatGPT thinks you should work for free. So it's just settle the debate once and for all. Promote yourself, create a professional online presence, etc., personal website, look for paid opportunities, use websites like Mandy, Upwork, Stage 32. I haven't heard of Mandy or Stage 32. Be persistent, diversify your income. That's a great piece of advice. That's something I talk about a lot. You might explore royalty-free music libraries, licensing your music for commercial use, or teaching music composition. So like I said, the real beauty of ChatGPT is when you go deeper. Please expand on point number 2. Create a portfolio. Give me a step-by-step guide to creating a winning portfolio. Be descriptive and detailed. All right, let's see what it says. So it's talking about creating a winning portfolio, and it starts giving me a step-by-step guide. Select your best work. So it's asking me to choose the pieces that best represent my composing abilities. Aim for around 10 to 15 high-quality tracks. That seems like a little high to me, but maybe. Organize your compositions, arrange your selected pieces into categories based on style, genre, or purpose. Create high-quality audio files, export your compositions. Okay, it's pretty common sense. Write concise descriptions. So I see some other really good advice here, which is collecting testimonials. I think that's a really big deal to get testimonials from previous people that you've worked with. Update regularly, add new compositions to your portfolio as you complete projects. Keep your portfolio up to date. So let's go deeper on another topic. Let's say, how can I find potential clients to work with? Give me detailed strategies and action steps. And let's see what it says. So I'm actually going to stop this because I don't want to talk about networking events, and I'm going to edit my prompt here, and I want to say, how can I find potential clients to work with online? Give me detailed strategies and action steps. We'll see what it says, because I want to isolate this to just online strategies. Join online communities and forums. That's good advice. Audio Gang forum for audio professionals, indie film sound Facebook group, and film and TV music LinkedIn group. Engage in discussions, share your expertise, and build relationships with potential clients. Leverage social media. Okay, I really like number 4, create valuable content. Produce content that demonstrates your expertise and provides value to your target audience. That's really good. That's also a great way to get some inbound clientele, is by creating content, because then they come to you. You're not always reaching out to them. Building an email list, contact production companies and studios. This is all great stuff. All right, so here's what I'm going to ask ChatGPT. This is a lot of information, and it's not a lot of structure to that information. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say this prompt. I have 10 hours per week to build up my composition career. Please give me an hour-by-hour, step-by-step action plan and schedule to maximize my time to build my career. Please prioritize the highest impact activities. Okay, so I actually don't want to do that. I want to return it in tabular form. So I'm going to say return the schedule in tabular form. Let's see what it says. All right, so right now what it's doing is it's creating a table for me, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's essentially creating a full table of what to do. All right, so this is where things start getting amazing. So we have had ChatGPT essentially craft a success plan for us on an hour-by-hour basis. So truly, guys, there is no excuse, me included. I mean, look at this. This is incredible. On Monday, it's giving you Monday. You have 2 hours on Monday, basically 2 hours every Monday through Friday, comprising your 10-hour work week to work on your composition career. The first hour on Monday, networking and relationship building. Spend 1 hour participating in online forums, groups, social media communities, content creation on Monday. Then you have Tuesday, skill development, project work. Then Wednesday, job and opportunity search. Then Wednesday again, another hour, portfolio and website maintenance. Thursday, networking and relationship building, email outreach, collaborations and referrals. So I'm going to basically take away the stipulation that it has to be hour by hour. I'm just going to see what it says if I say I have 10 hours per week to build my composition career. Give me a step-by-step guide to building my career under these constraints, incorporating everything we've talked about. So it's saying, under the constraints of 10 hours per week, here's a step-by-step guide to build your composition career, incorporating the strategies we've developed. All right, so it's finished outputting, and what it's done here is created a little bit more of a loose structure for us. So skill development, an hour per week, creating a portfolio, 1 hour per week, networking and relationship building, 2 hours per week. And of course, you can edit this. You can ask ChatGPT, focus more on the networking side or focus more on skill development. All right, guys, but we can go even deeper. Let's say you utilize some of these strategies, you put this plan into practice, and honestly, if you do, I would be shocked if you don't get work very soon. I mean, this is a pretty dedicated plan. You'd have to be dedicated, but if you put this into practice, I think you could absolutely find success. Now, let's say you finally do land a gig. You land a commercial gig, a commission of some kind. One thing I always say, and one thing I said in my video about how to become a video game composer, and this of course applies to film and podcasts and every other form of media composition, is it's super important to have a creative brief. And ChatGPT can essentially write that creative brief for us. So let's try this out. So I'm here on twitter.com and I'm looking at the hashtag screenshot Saturday. And this is a really great place to not only network with other indie game developers, but to also find inspiration for the project that we're doing right now, or maybe inspiration for your demo reel. So I'm just going to scroll through and see if I find anything interesting. This looks very interesting. It looks like it's called Haunty. And so I'm going to see if we can plug this in and we can make a creative brief for Haunty. So I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and I'm going to say, good news. Thanks to your excellent advice, I have landed a video game music composition commission for a developer creating an indie game called Haunty. I would like to create a creative brief for my work on this title. Can you help me do that? Please start by, and yes, I like to say please to ChatGPT. I don't know, it's just, good vibes. Please start by giving me a template for a robust composition creative brief. And let's just see what ChatGPT says. One thing ChatGPT cannot do is ChatGPT cannot drop a like on this video and subscribe. Anyway, guys, so this is mind-blowing. This is going to save composers so much time. Congratulations on landing the commission. I'm glad to hear my advice was helpful. Creating a creative brief is an essential step in ensuring that you and the developer are on the same page. I'm glad you think so, ChatGPT. I do too. Here's a template for a robust composition creative brief, and then it breaks it down basically item by item. Project overview, game title, developer, game genre, platforms, target audience, release date. Then it does a music overview. Objective, describe the primary goal of the music for Haunty. Style and genre, inspirations, emotional tone, main themes, technical requirements, milestones and deadlines. I mean, this is crazy comprehensive. It even says audio middleware. If applicable, mention the use of any audio middleware, FMOD or WISE, milestones and deadlines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that I've been hired by Haunty to create this music, and I'm going to fill this in, and I want to see what it outputs. I have never done this before, so I am super excited to see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this, and I am going to paste this whole thing back into ChatGPT and just fill in each of these things. The genre, I'm not quite sure. Okay, adventure, exploration, twin stick shooter, and action. That's what it says on the Steam page. Music overview, objective. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I don't know the objective, but what I do know is what the developer has said about this game. I'll call this game description. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this, and I'm just gonna copy all of this marketing copy from the game, and I'm going to paste it into here. And when I say style and genre, I'm going to say, please deduce styles based on the above description. Inspiration, I'm going to say list any musical influences or reference tracks. How about this? I'll say, based on the above styles, list and link out to, using Markdown, any relevant, I'll just say, 3 to 5 reference tracks for this style based on other games of the same style. Emotional tone, describe the emotional tone for the music, eerie, suspenseful, or whimsical. Well, it's called Haunty. It's about ghosts, but it looks more lighthearted than like a normal ghost themed piece of media. So I'm going to say the emotional tone is maybe pensive, thoughtful, calming, regal. I don't know. Main themes, define any main themes or motifs. The game must include different sound, let's say different scores for each one of the 5 in-game environments. I don't know if there are 5 in-game environments, but we'll just say there are. All right, so format, I'm going to say it has to be in WAV files. Length, the tracks must be, I'll say 2 minutes in length, and seamless loops. And then that's looping, so we can delete that because we already said it's looping. Dynamic systems, dynamic music. I'll just say implementation will be covered by the programmer. Audio middleware, we can delete that for now. milestones and deadlines, initial concepts, let's say 2 weeks from today, feedback and revisions, five revisions with 48-hour turnaround times for revisions. Guys, this is so important, by the way, that you fill this out and you get on the same page with the developers that you're working with. Super, super important. Final deliverables, I'm going to say 1 month from today. That's pretty tight, but communication and collaboration, I'll tell you what, I am going to delete these sections for the sake of time. And I'm just going to say, generate a creative brief based on the information I've provided above. And we'll see what it does here. All right, and it's finished outputting. And guys, this is just, wow, this is incredible. I mean, you could copy and paste this into a Google Doc, add a little bit of formatting, and this could be your statement of work. This could be the invoice, or not the invoice, but more the quote that you send to the client right here. And I mean, it's pretty much complete. I mean, it needs some boilerplate legal language for contracts, but this is pretty much complete. So it gives me a project overview, game title, but this is the really cool thing. Game description. In the music overview, it takes place in eternity, a mysterious world outside of space where all souls eventually end up. Players control a ghost named Haunty who uses ghostly powers to possess creatures and the environment, solving puzzles and navigating combat scenarios. Style and genre. So it's giving me some styles and genres based on that description. Atmospheric, ambient, orchestral, and ethereal styles are suitable for the game's mysterious, otherworldly setting. And then this is so cool. It actually gives me reference tracks. And these reference tracks are pretty spot on for what I think the developer would probably want for this game. Hollow Knight. Reflection. I didn't even think of Hollow Knight, but this game totally has the aesthetic of Hollow Knight. Ori and the Blind Forest, another awesome thing. By the way, check out my interview with Gareth Coker. He has a lot of great things to say about orchestral music. I'll link that in the description or up here. Journey. Nascence, don't know how to say this, Nascence by Austin Wintory. Of course, Austin's a legend. Child of Light, Aurora's theme. Have not heard of that. The Pathless Edge of the World. And not only that, but it actually gives the links. So we can click these and go straight to the YouTube video and actually listen to the reference, except the YouTube video isn't there anymore. That is one of the limitations of ChatGPT, is its knowledge cutoff is 2021. So sometimes these links may not be active anymore. However, we can just Google these or YouTube those and find the active links. But this is really incredible. Emotional tone, pensive, thoughtful, calming, and regal. Main themes, the soundtrack must include unique scores for each of the 5 in-game environments. This is really, really cool, but guys, we can push it even further. We can say, okay, I'm ready to compose my first track for this game. The first environment is let's look at the game and let's see if we can come up with a description of the environment here. Okay, let's see. The first environment is a dark, gold-laden forest with strange, abstract trees and mushrooms growing everywhere. The theme looks to be atmospheric and mysterious. Please give me a step-by-step plan to composing the theme for this environment. And let's just see what ChatGPT says. All right, so ChatGPT has given us a step-by-step guide on how to do this. So it's telling us to analyze the environment, define the mood, determine the mood that you want to do, and it gives us some suggestions. Feelings of mystery, wonder, and a sense of exploration. Choose your instruments and sounds. This is exactly what I talk about in my How to Become a Video Game Composer or Tips for Composing for Video Games YouTube video, where I talked about the mise en place, right? Where we get all of our sound palette out at once so that we don't have to go back and forth in our DAW selecting sounds. So I really love that. And it even gives us some suggestions. Consider using a combination of acoustic instruments like strings or woodwinds and an atmospheric synth pad or soundscapes to create an otherworldly and mysterious feel. And that is incredible to me because in a lot of forest games, typically when you're in a forest environment, you're going to hear a lot of woodwinds and you're going to hear a lot of acoustic instruments. So that's really cool that ChatGPT has deduced that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go even further. I'm going to say, please give me, or I'm going to say, I want to evoke a sense of mystery and wonder, as well as exploration. Please give me a list of suitable instruments that I should set up in my DAW before composing. And by the way, I'll take a quick break. I love how it says, develop the main motif, establish the harmony, create a rhythmic foundation, and then develop the structure. I think that's actually a pretty good order of operations, because it can be very challenging to get your structure set up if you don't even know what the melody is. Like, I always talk about, get your structure set up as soon as possible, and I think that's good advice for the most part, but it is very challenging to get your structure set up if you're not even sure what the harmony or melody is. So I like the fact that it wants you to develop a main motif, establish the harmony, get your rhythm set up, and then develop the structure after that. I think that's really cool. All right, so please give me a list of suitable instruments that I should set up in my DAW for composing. Then, this is going to be crazy, give me a measure by measure, section by section breakdown of how to compose this piece. Include melody and harmony ideas, as well as the overall structure and arrangement of the piece. So this is pretty crazy, guys. We are going deep down the rabbit trail here. Okay, so now it's telling me which instruments to set up in my DAW. All right, guys, now this gets me excited. This is bonkers. To evoke a sense of mystery, wonder, and exploration for your composition, consider using the following instruments in your DAW. Strings, violins, violas, cellos, and double basses for warmth and expressiveness. Woodwinds, flutes, clarinets, oboes, and bassoons. Piano for delicate and expressive melodic lines. Harp, great touch for a touch of ethereal beauty. That's an awesome suggestion, and honestly, I probably would not have thought of that myself. Synth pads and soundscapes to create a sense of depth and otherworldliness. Soft percussion, mallet instruments like marimba, vibraphone, or glockenspiel for gentle rhythmic patterns. I love that. Now, here's where things, I know I keep saying this, but here's where things get wild. I can't believe this, guys. I mean, I geek out about this stuff. Let's create a measure by measure, section by section breakdown for your composition. The intro, 8 measures. Begin with a soft synth pad, creating an ambient texture that sets the stage for the mysterious and otherworldly atmosphere. Introduce a delicate, slow-moving melody on the flute, accompanied by soft piano chords. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. And of course, you don't have to do this. You can do whatever the heck you want. Don't let this disrupt your normal writing process. But I mean, if you're in writer's block or you're trying to quickly get ideas out, this is an amazing tool. A section, 16 measures. Develop the flute melody, expanding on the initial theme. Introduce a counter melody on the clarinet, weaving it into the flute line. Add a subtle string section, playing long sustained chords to support the harmony. Include a gentle marimba or vibraphone pattern to provide a sense of forward momentum. B section, shift the focus to a new melodic theme on the oboe, taking the listener on a different path of exploration. Use the harp to play a delicate arpeggiated accompaniment, adding a touch of ethereal beauty. Gradually build the dynamics and intensity by incorporating a fuller string section and piano chords. Introduce the bassoon as a counter melody, playing off the oboe theme. I mean, dude, that is descriptive. That is really cool. And then the A section, the modified A section, return to the initial flute melody, but this time develop and elaborate on the theme. Introduce a violin counter melody that intertwines with the flute line, adding depth and complexity. Continue to use the string section for harmonic support and the marimba vibraphone for rhythmic drive. Add a layer of a synth pad or soundscape to enhance the mysterious atmosphere. And then we have the outro, where we gradually reduce the instrumentation, returning to the soft synth pad and piano chords from the intro. I mean, guys, this is absolutely incredible. And you can go even further on each of these and ask it to describe to you, okay, give me more detail about how to do the A section. Give me more detail about how to do the B section. And it will even give you chord progressions. Now, I will tell you where ChatGPT does fall short is when it gives you chord progressions. I have asked it to give me chord progressions and melodies, and they are not good. So that is the one thing that you have to be careful of. But honestly, it's only a matter of time before it can do that as well. All right, guys, so that about wraps up the video. I just wanted to run some experiments. This is something that I've been excited about. I've been using ChatGPT for my own day job, and I really just wanted to see if it had any use cases for composers and musicians and producers. And honestly, I think it does. I think that there are no limits. The only limit is your imagination. I mean, you can ask ChatGPT to teach you music theory concepts. You can put your developer revisions into ChatGPT and ask you to interpret it in musical language for you. There really is no limit to what you can do with it. So let me know, do you want to see more content like this on ChatGPT, or do you guys think this is lame and cheating and you're scared of AI and you don't want anything to do with it? Please let me know in the comments. And also, I just want to know what you think about AI generation tools in general. Is this cheating? Are you worried it's going to take all of our jobs? I love having conversations about this stuff. I'm really deep in this world, the music as well as the AI world, so I love talking about this. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to check out my guide on how to arrange music as well as how to become a better video game composer, the links to those will be in the description. Check those out. You can also check out my course, which is a full-fledged course on the introductory foundational elements of video game composition. If you're interested in that, the link will be in the description. Thanks for watching.